Hey guys, my name is Emily, if you haven't seen my face before, and today my face is looking a little bare because I haven't put my makeup on yet, and that is because I'm going to be showing you guys my go-to glam makeup. This is a look that I have been doing a lot lately anytime I don't really want to wear a lot of color and I want a more neutral look but still really glam. This is definitely what I go for, and I wanted to show you guys the type of products that I'm using as well as what I do, just in case you guys were curious and wanted to try something like this for yourself. I did one other makeup video on my channel, which was actually the very first video that I have made, and I really wanted to start doing more makeup on my channel because it is definitely a really big passion of mine. I love doing my makeup. I do it all the time as a hobby. It's so fun for me, and so I really wanted to start making more videos, starting with this one. The first video that I ever did was a makeup video, and that one is really cringe, so I wanted to make a different one, which is what I'm doing today, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I always like to start with my eyes when I'm doing my makeup before I do my foundation, so I like to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer in light, and the rating is kind of rubbing off on most of my things because they all get rummaged around in my makeup bag, which is totally fine. I find that this primer really helps my eyeshadow stop from creasing, and I have quite hooded eyes, so that is a problem for me, and I really like this one. I feel like it does make a difference, so if you haven't picked this one up yet, I would recommend it. I feel like it's very effective in what it's used for, and since it does have a little bit of a tint, it helps cover up your eye veins and that kind of redness if you have any on your eyes, which is really nice as well. If you see me looking over here, it's because I'm looking at my mirror. I definitely cannot do my makeup without a mirror. I am not that talented, so. Also, disclaimer, I'm definitely not a makeup artist. I'm not a professional at all. I really like to do my makeup as a hobby. It's a really fun pastime for me, and I don't take myself too seriously. I like to do it how I like it, and I'm not super picky about making everything really perfect. Now that my eyes are primed, I'm going to move on to eyeshadow, and I'm going to be taking a transition shade from the Tartelette Toasted palette. This is my all-time favorite fall palette. It is very warm toned and orangey, and I love the colors in here. I'm going to be taking the shade Latte, and I'm just going to be putting that in my crease. I'm just taking that in windshield wiper motions across my eyelid, building it up a little bit, but I still want it to be a pretty light color. Once there's no product left in the brush, I just like to go over it again just to help blend it out. And that is pretty much it for my powder eyeshadow for this look. Next, I'm going to be taking the NYX Glitter Primer. I like to use this anytime I'm using a metallic shadow, or specifically the ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadows. I feel like it really just helps bring out the sparkle and the color of the shades. So I'm just taking a little tiny amount, and I am dotting that across my lid very lightly. You definitely don't need a lot of this to have a lot of effect for Super Shock shadows or shimmers. If you are using actual glitter, you would need more, but for now, I'm just using a tiny little amount on both eyes. Once that's on there, I'm going to go ahead and take DGAF from ColourPop. This is a Super Shock shadow. I talked about these in my ColourPop haul, which I will leave in the cards above in case you are curious and you want to check those out. I'm definitely a big fan of the ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadows. Like, look at that, it's so pretty. This is a medium toned brown with some glitter, so I just like to take that in the corner of my eye towards the middle. I do like to build up that color a little bit. The ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadow is definitely one of my all-time favorite formulas. I love how sparkly some of them are, and I would definitely recommend these ones. I feel like a lot of them you can just sweep over your lid in one go. You have a full look just with one color, which is amazing. Once I'm done with that, I'm just going to seal this back up. You definitely don't want to leave these open or they will dry out. So I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side, and I'm going to take Ladybird, which is also a Super Shock eyeshadow, and both of these are in the Ultra Glitter formula, which are definitely my favorite. I love how sparkly they are. Here's what this one looks like. It is super glittery and super pretty just like the other one, but this one is a lot more champagne-y. So I'm taking that everywhere on my lid that doesn't have the brown eyeshadow, so it's going in the middle, it's going on the inner bit, and I'm kind of blending that with my pinky on top of where it meets with the darker eyeshadow. It definitely looks more icy, which is super pretty. It's very metallic and really sparkly. These ones are also very buildable, so if you aren't happy with how metallic it is, you can build it up. So once I have that on there, I'm gonna go ahead and close this, and I'm gonna take that same brush that I was using before and just blend through my crease again. So to deepen up the crease a little bit more, I'm gonna go in here and take the shade Cozy right there and pop that in the outer V of my eye. I don't wanna bring this color in towards my inner corner because I want that to stay nice and light, so I am just keeping that right on the corner. So that's pretty much it for the eyes for now. I'm gonna move on to my face and then we will finish up the eyes later. For face primer, I like to use the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Skin Primer. This one smells like citrus and banana and I love it. It's also very brightening, which I really like because I really want a dewy look for my face. So just go ahead and put this on. It's also pretty moisturizing for my dry skin, which I love. I really love the Fenty Hydrating Primer as well. So I also have the Fenty Hydrating Foundation. This is the Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation, and this has become my all-time favorite foundation. I loved it with the hydrating primer that is with this line, but also with my Ole Henriksen primer that I have. So overall, this is just a really nice foundation for dry skin especially. I can't really vouch for what it's like on oily skin, but for dry skin, it does a really good job of keeping you dewy and not drying your skin out. So I just like to take 2 pumps on my hand, and that's usually enough for my full face. So I just like to dot that all over my face, and I like to use a sponge with this foundation. I haven't really tried it with a brush, to be honest, because I just love how it looks so much with a sponge, so I'm pretty much just satisfied with that. This is definitely a buildable foundation. I only like to use a light layer and then work my way up if I need a little bit more coverage in certain areas, and I feel like it really works well for that. So my foundation is done, and you can still see there is still some dewiness shining through, which is great. And so now I'm gonna move on to concealer. What I've been doing lately is just using color corrector on top of my foundation because the foundation tends to neutralize a bit of my dark circles anyways. And I like to just go on with a color corrector on top to kind of neutralize more of that darkness that I have. And then I pretty much just leave it there. I don't add more concealer on top. So this is the Benefit Boing Brightening Color Corrector Concealer, and I have this in the shade number 1, which is the lightest shade, and I just like to take that all over my under eye and bringing that up into my inner corners as well because I do have some darkness there. And then once I have that placed everywhere I want, I can go ahead and take a smaller sponge and I just blend that in. So you can see the difference between this eye that has some more darkness and blue tones underneath and this eye, which is a lot more neutral now that I put that color corrector on. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. I also like to use this to fix up my eyeshadow to make it a little bit more of a shape that I want. So I will clean up my outer corners a little bit with that concealer. Once I have that on, I'm gonna take the Maybelline Loose Fitting Fit Me powder, and this is in the shade 05 Fair, and I use this to bake under my eyes. If I do have a lot of time to get ready, I will go ahead and bake. Today I have a lot of things to do, so I'm not going to be baking today. I'm just going to be putting that right underneath my eyes. And I don't really get too oily in my T-zone because I have such dry skin, so I don't really need to powder the rest of my face. It's pretty much just my under eyes that I want to powder to help prevent them from creasing. Once I have my powder on, I go ahead and take the Honey Dude Color Pop eyeliner, and I like to pop this right in my waterline. I love the look of a really neutral color there. I feel like it just helps your eyes look really awake. I put some on this eye, and I haven't put any on this eye yet, so you can see that this one just looks a little bit more brighter, and I really like that look. So if you haven't tried any neutral eyeliner in your waterline, I would go ahead and give it a shot and see if you like the effects. I'm going to take that Cozy shade again and pop that underneath my waterline in the outer V, just like I did with the top of my eye. Once there's pretty much no product left on the brush, I'm going to go ahead and bring that in the close to the inner corner of my eye, being very light-handed and making sure I'm not putting too much of a dark color there. Once I have that on, I'm going to go ahead and take the brush that I was using before, and I'm just going to blend everything out again. And blend the outer corner on the upper lid with the outer corner of the bottom lid. I think this is a relatively simple look to do. It doesn't use too many shades, and it's pretty simple with technique. So I think this would be great for beginners if you want a glam look and you aren't too used to doing anything crazy with your makeup. So eyes are done for now. I'm going to move on to my face, and I know that I do my makeup in a weird order. Different people do different makeup different ways. I'm going to do my bronzer next, and I'm gonna go ahead and take my Bare Minerals Gen Nude Ombre Face Palette. I got this for Christmas last year, and it is super cute. It has 3 different shades in there. There's a highlight, blush, and bronzer. I like to take that bronzer and tap it off a little bit, and then I like to go ahead and pop that where my cheekbones are. I like to use a really light hand with this as well, and I blend it upward so that I don't get bronzer too low on my face. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put some on my temples and blend that out towards my forehead. as well as along the sides of my nose. I'm not too specific with my bronzer. I kind of just tap it along everywhere and hope for the best. I do spend a little bit more time, again, if I have more time, but since I'm in a little bit of a rush today, I'm not being too precise with it, but I am making sure that I am blending it out. After I go in with my bronzer, I like to take a fluffier blush brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and use the same blush that's in this palette today. I like to apply my blush different places depending on the day, but for most times I like to go on my temples like this, kind of over where I put the bronzer. This is a really neutral pink color, which I love. I feel like it isn't too hot pink or bright pink. It's a very neutral blushy color, which is really pretty for this look. Once I have that on my temples, I also like to take some on my nose. I love the look of nose blush. I think it's really cute. Instead of using the highlighter that is in this palette, I'm going to go ahead and take my ColourPop Flexitarian. Mine has definitely taken a beating over the years. This is my all-time favorite highlighter. It is a Super Shock cheek product from ColourPop, of course. And this has a pearlized finish. It's super pretty. And this one is also buildable. It goes on really smoothly, and you can build up if you want it to be very intense, or just use a very light hand if you want it to be more subtle. I like to put that on my cheekbones as well as under my eyebrows, on my nose, and in my inner corners. If you are looking for a new highlighter and you want something that just gives you a really pretty glow, I would definitely recommend this one. For my nose, I like to just go down a little bit on the middle and then do a little circle on the tip. For my eyebrows, I like to use the Anastasia Soft Brown Brow Duo that is a powder. And I like to use the lighter shade of the two. And I'm not too detailed with my brows. I already have pretty thick ones. I just like to brush them out and then very lightly fill them in, not giving them too much extra shape, but mostly just filling in the spots that are more sparse. I went ahead and did my lips off camera, so I used the ColourPop Brink shade in their lippy pencil line, and this is kind of a dark pink, which is a little neutral shade that I like to use when we're getting into the colder months. And then I put the ColourPop lip gloss in Bengal right on top. I'm not too sure if this is the Luxe lip oil or Luxe lip gloss or whatever it's called, because the packaging has worn right off. That whatever was written on here is now gone. But I know it's the shade Bengal, so I'm pretty sure you can still find this shade if you were interested in it. This is the lip duo that I use if I want something that is a little bit deeper than pink but not quite red. I'm definitely a big fan of wearing lip glosses with lip pencils because liquid lipsticks really dry my lips out and I can't stand them, so these are the types of pairings that I typically go for. The last step that I have to do is my eyelashes, so I'm gonna go ahead and curl them. My lashes are very straight and short naturally, so I really use lashes most of the time. I do still wear mascara though, but I'm not too picky with it. I will usually use something from the drugstore or a little mini that I get from using my Sephora points online. So this one is the Big Clean by a brand Kosas, I'm not too sure. I haven't been too familiar with this brand before trying this mascara, but I actually really like it. I feel like it does a really good job of blending my natural lashes with the fake lashes. So this is the mini that I'm using right now. Once this runs out, I'm not gonna go buy the full size of it. I'll just get another mini with my points. For lashes, I'm gonna be using the style Aphrodite from She Said Lashes. I did a video try on from She Said Lashes not too long ago that I will leave in the cards above. They are a Canadian small business from Instagram that sells lashes and other things. Right now they are on hiatus, I believe. I'm not too sure if they are just rebranding or if they are taking a break or even stopping their brand, which would kind of disappoint me because I'm a big fan of their lashes. I think they're really pretty and I've gotten so many uses out of these that I am really impressed with them. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these on. And for lash glue, I always use the Duo brush tip one that has the green letters and it looks like this. So now that my lashes are on, I'm going to go ahead and use the Pretty Fresh setting spray from ColourPop. I just use a couple sprays of that. Try not to get it in my mouth because I'm talking. And then I fan it off a little bit. And that is pretty much it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is what it looks like. This is definitely not too complicated. If you are looking for a simple glam look, I would wear this for a Christmas party. I'd wear this for New Year's Eve. I wear this for date nights, and really anytime I want to do my makeup without using super colorful eyeshadow. And you've probably seen me wear this look a few times in different videos, but with a different lip combo or different eyelashes. But overall, this is pretty much my go-to now. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys if you are looking for a new glam look to try out. So I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to, you can go ahead and leave a like, a comment, or subscribe if you want. And I will see you next time. Thanks guys. Bye. God bless.